Today's demo is all about binding your quilt. You've got your quilt, your patchwork done. We've quilted it with the wadding and the backing, and we've trimmed it all off level with the patchwork top of the quilt. So all looks nice and neat apart from this here, which we want to get rid of. Your binding strips will come, if you've got a kit from us, they're all cut, ready to go. If not, you'll be cutting your own strips, which is fine. And don't use them separately. What you need to do is join them all together into one great big long piece. So we'll put them together like this. Is that okay, Mark?
Yep, that's all right.
And you're going to stitch them together about where my thumbnail is. This side of the selvage, because you don't want the selvage to show from the front. If you're happier, trim off your selvage and just do your 1/4 inch seam, that's fine. And at that stage you'll press your seams open and join all these pieces into one long strip. Once you've done that and you've pressed your seams open, we're going to start the binding of the quilt. So take your strip, it'll be going further away down on the floor. You're going to fold it in half, wrong sides together, so that the raw edges are together. Then you're going to put it against the raw edges of your quilt. I'm doing the top and bottom first. You could do sides first, it's up to you. There's no right and wrong. So we put it under the sewing machine, lower our foot, and then you can pin it if you want to, but I find it feeds through nicely if you just let it go itself. And away we go, and go down the edge all the way down. And what we're doing is we're keeping the edges together. So we're keeping these raw edges to the raw edges of the quilt.
Show that again, because your hands work quite easy.
Sorry. Raw edges of the binding in line with the raw edges of the quilt. Don't stretch it. You can see the stretch. Don't do that. Let the machine do the work. Let the machine attach one to the other. And you keep going, keep going, keep going, all the way down until you get to the other end. And then you'll cut off the fabric level like it is at this side. So I'm going to come out of the machine now and show you the next stage. So once you've done that, cut off any threads or bits of excess fabric. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take the front of the binding and fold it over to the back. Can you see that? Like that. And what that does, it gives you a nice edge on the back and a nice edge on the front, like so. Gives it just a cozy feel to the end. And you're going to hand stitch that down all the way down, like we've just done, all the way down to the end. So at the other end of my quilt, I've got one I prepared earlier, and I've stitched all the way across, as you can see, and I'm just on the last little bit now. Everybody knows this is my least favourite part of quilting. I love the patchwork.
So you've hand quilted one side, hand sewn one side and machine sewed the other.
Yeah, machine sew it on for strength and hand sew it on, because if you machine from this side now, your machine stitching will show on the other side, the right side of your quilt. So hand stitch across here. I think I don't like it because I just want to get it finished. I'm just excited. So I do my stitches too big really. So just go nice and neat all the way across. When you get to the end, just do a little back stitch, stitch in place, whatever you want to call it, like so. Lost my scissors, chop him off. And then after that, what we'll do, we need to see how to finish these edges. Look now, because we've got a bit of roughness here, all this edge, and it's slightly different, but it's not at all difficult. So take the next piece that you've cut off, which I've got here. Sorry, Mark. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half again, but don't line it up at this edge, because if you do, you'll have a raw edge. So what you're going to do is move it about 3/4 of an inch past your seam here, the edge of your quilt.
Tilt it this way a bit. There you go.
Like that.
Yep.
Lovely. Then you're going to turn this over to the back, like so. And what that'll do, it'll give you a nice edge that's the right size for your quilt. No, sometimes you have to stitch them. Some people tell you to stitch them down afterwards. No need to do that. Just do it in one motion and you'll be done. So it's going under the quilt, folded over the edge, and we're going to stitch right from the edge along there, 1/4 inch, exactly the same. So we'll go a little way, like so. So we're not doing anything different, it's all looking the same. Then you take it out of your machine and you'll see you have to turn over this edge. So pretend we've gone all the way to the other side, like so, and we're going to fold it back. And now what you've actually made is a seam that continues up, can you see? And then you're going to fold it over to the back like that, and then that corner looks gorgeous. And then you hand sew down there exactly like I've just shown you. So if it sticks out a bit, I'm just going to show you. Let's pretend it was sticking out a bit, and you do this, and then you look at it and you think, oh, heaven forbid. Just pull it back a little bit in, fold it over, and it will go nice and flat. And it's a lovely edge. I do it. Well, I think it's the easiest way. I will do another video later with mitered edges, because some people like to miter their corners. Me, I'm not. I only miter corners if my border on the quilt has been mitered. If I miter the borders, I'll miter the binding. But if I do a straight border, I put a straight binding on. Personal choice, absolutely personal choice. So now I'm under the machine again, and now you've got to pretend I've just stitched all the way up here. So I'm just going to show you how to finish off. So I've shown you the top and bottom, nice straight edges. I've shown you how to start, and now I'm going to show you how to finish. So I'm under the machine the same as before, going up this row. Is that okay, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's not a process you should rush, binding. I think that's probably why I don't like it as well. So I'm going along here. Now I'm going to look, and if this would still be joined to my long bit, remember? So I'd look at it there and think, right, where shall I chop this off? So I'd chop it off a little bit closer than that. So as I said, 3/4 inch to 1 inch. I'll just pick my quilt up, it's falling on the floor. Don't like that. Like that. So we've got to there, and now this is the crucial bit, Mark. Crucial.
I mean, yeah,
okay.
got it.
Fold it over again, nice and tight, not too tight, not too loose. So you can see that there. That's where you want to be watching. You want a nice finish there. Round, then you finish off your seam like so, all the way down, like so. Then you come out of your machine, and then again, turn back your edge, fold it over,
Hold it to the light a bit more.
and stitch it down, like that,
No, this way.
towards you. Lovely. So you've got a nice edge. So you'll end up with 4 nice corners, nicely stitched down. And I use this for anything I want to bind. You can bind quilts, edges of cushions if you don't want to turn them through. Anything you want to bind, bags, anything at all. And it just gives it a nice edge, I'm sure you'll agree. So I hope that helps you, and you can finish off your quilts gorgeously now. Thanks for watching.